Finland has formally announced its intention to join NATO in a move Moscow says would be a mistake. The president of NATO has welcomed the news, saying its door is open.
Here on Finland's eastern border, Finns live nearer to Russia's St. Petersburg than their own capital, Helsinki. Geographically close, they've rarely felt more politically distant from their neighbour.
Russia has been to this area both a blessing and a curse. Of course, we depend very much upon the trade with Russia, but then on the other hand, there is this part of Russia that is very, very bad.
And this is the border here now, so we're looking now into Russia.
Born and bred up by the border with Russia, for years Rita backed Finland's neutrality. Then President Putin invaded Ukraine, and suddenly being in NATO seemed like a much safer bet.
You live right near the Russian border. Are you worried that if you join NATO, Russia could turn its aggression to you?
That is why we are joining NATO. Yeah, that's the reason.
Why?
Because we need more power, you see. Russia is a country that respects only power, nothing else. A power needs a counterpower. Now we will have it with NATO.
As a result of that, we have today a historic day.
Finland's leaders agree, today confirming they'll apply to NATO once Parliament approves.
Prime Minister, how worried are you about retaliation from Russia if you do join NATO?
Everything has changed when Russia attacked Ukraine, and I personally think that we cannot trust anymore that there will be a peaceful future next to Russia with our own. That's why we're making the decisions to joining NATO. It's an act of peace that there would ever again be war in Finland.
I have written a book from my childhood.
Seppo remembers the last battle with the then Soviet Union. As a child, he saw the bombs dropping. He knows a NATO application will rattle the Russians.
I'm not worried. Relations are now very bad with Putin's government, but they are not so bad that they made an attack here. No, I don't think so. I'm not afraid, but I'm sad.
But possible Russian retaliation could mean more economic pain. COVID and the war in Ukraine have already hit these frontier areas hard. Russian tourism has dwindled. Now traffic trickles through checkpoints. Maria is one of around 80,000 Russians living in Finland. She's furious with President Putin.
I think he's a terrorist.
Because of him invading Ukraine?
Of course. And because he's flashing all the Russia through in the toilet, into the toilet. It's all his, he hates Russians, he hates all the nations. He's killing the Russia. He's not a patriot, really.
What's happening here is a monumental shift. For a country with a tradition of staying out of alliances, the war in Ukraine has crossed a line. People here are now embracing joining NATO.
Today, Finland has changed the course of its own future and the future of security across Europe. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News, Finland.